Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're going to have a little fun in today's video and spec out a 2026 Corvette ZR1X. Who would have ever thought that a Corvette would cost not only over $100,000 but over $200,000, not by no small amount, other than a classic, maybe a C1 or a C2 going across the auction block somewhere. It's unbelievable, the prices of what we are seeing now. So if I was going to order a C8 ZR1X, let's see exactly how it would be spec'd out and what it would cost. And here we go. We're going to go right here and go to the configurator. Let me make sure I do the right thing. So we're going to go to the Chevrolet Build and Price website. You can tell that I go here quite a bit. I get a lot of good information here for different things that I'm doing for my videos. Now I want you to take a look at something here. Here is the Stingray 2026. In fact, we can even go to 2025, and the sticker price was $70,195. Now keep in mind that the price at one point was actually $59,995, and that was back in 2020. Here is the ZR1X with the base price of $212,195. Now, I'm going to be realistic here and go with the coupe because that is what I would ultimately do. I'm not a convertible person, but you can see the difference in the base prices between the coupe and the convertible version, which is very interesting to see. We're already well over $200,000. So let's move on forward. All-wheel drive is the only drive type available, and for all the horsepower that you have here, well, it better be. So we're going to jump on in, and I'm going to go right down here, and we're going to take a look. Just in case you didn't know, here is what you have as far as the engine specs go. And take a look at the horsepower and the torque numbers. And that 0 to 60, pretty impressive, 2.3 seconds. I have actually been in another vehicle that could do that, although it was an EV. It was a Porsche Macan Turbo Electric, and it was something to drive. But without the sound of the engine, I'm going to tell you what, it really does make a difference in the overall experience. So we're going to go right here and go to our exterior color. Now, I like a darker red, so we're going to go with the Red Mist Metallic, and for me, that works really well. Now, as far as the wheels go, this is the finish that I personally like. Everybody else may like something a little bit different. I think that just matches really well with what we have as far as our exterior color goes. And we'll, just for the fun of it, to bring the price up a little bit and see exactly how much we may be able to get this thing spec'd out for. We're going to see how this goes. Now, as far as the finish on the brake calipers, for me, I really like that yellow against the dark red exterior color. It just seems to pop a little bit better. And since it's only $250, let's go ahead and add the center caps just for fun. Wheel locks, why not? We'll just go ahead and throw that in. Now, you will find out what happens when there are changes that are made. Sometimes you'll have to add things, whatever the situation is. It's going to tell you and tell you what the price change is right here. Maybe you've never seen how you configure a vehicle when you buy a vehicle like this. You can do this with any manufacturer out there, and it actually will save you a little bit of money, believe it or not, because you won't have the ability for the dealership to mark it up and put a big markup on it. It could be a few $1,000s up to tens of thousands of dollars, as we've seen in the past. Now, as far as the stripes go, for me, this works. Some of you might not even want anything like that. You might want to just leave this area without any kind of a graphics package, and that's perfectly fine. There is nothing wrong with that. And you may like something else here that I didn't choose to add. Now, as far as the interior goes, for me personally, everybody has their preferences. I don't want a black interior, at least not all black. You're going to have a little bit in there no matter what you do. but I think this is my choice because I like to have a little bit of a lighter interior. Living in Northwest Louisiana, we get a lot of heat during the summer, a lot of sunshine, and so that black interior is going to get really hot if I don't go with a lighter interior. Now, you can see the seat type right here. Now, there are a few different options here. The base seats are really, really cool, but you know what? Why don't we go with these competition sport seats? I think that matches with the amount of horsepower and torque and the overall look of what this C8 is going to look like. Hey, I'm good with that. Now, let's see what we have. Obviously, if we're going to have the yellow brake calipers, we're going to need to have the yellow seat belts. Now, you will see a little bit of a change here removed. Obviously, we're going to see that as no surprise because we changed the seat belt color. So you can see that. And here's something else that's nice is you can look at this from a few different angles. So in case you didn't realize you could do that, there that is. And that's exactly how it's going to look. And we'll keep on going right down here. Now we're going to go to our options. And here's something where you can really add some things. And depending on how much you want to spend, how you want your Corvette to look, you can go with quite a few things here. Now, for me, this is it right here. I really want this package because it's going to give it the most racy look, at least in my personal opinion. I know some of you might say, I don't want that high wing on the back. For me, that just doesn't work. Now, one thing I will say, if you're buying a C8 Corvette, this is a must-have because it's going to protect the front area from getting kind of rocks and debris and stuff like that. And you can actually order all of these aftermarket and pay a little bit less. And so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there anyway, just because that's something that I know I would like to have. And if I was buying it in real life, which that's a little bit more than I can afford right now, unless you want to start watching a lot more of my videos. I think between my house note and my two vehicles that I own, I would still be paying more for this car per month than combining all of those things together. Now, some popular options, you can see what we have right here. It just depends on what you want. I do have to say that the outside mirror covers with the visible carbon fiber, I think that works. I like that. That's going to look really good. We're going to add that in, take care of that. Why not get a car cover? It is going to spend a little bit more time in the garage than it will out on the road. But you know what? If I bought this car, I guarantee you, I wouldn't make it a trailer queen, and I wouldn't not drive it. That's just the way I am. I like to drive my cars. I don't buy them for anything other than that. There are ways to make money with them beyond that, such as doing drag racing videos on the drag strip, not illegal street racing, which we may actually be doing that with my Honda Prelude here in the near future. But as far as everything else goes, let's see if I can find anything else that gets my attention. Why not? Just for the fun of it, we'll throw this suede microfiber frunk and trunk compartment liner in, if I can keep from tongue twisting that. Don't ask me to say that 5 times fast, because it probably won't go too well. Some of you might be able to do that, I don't know. Now, performance options are here, so you've got quite a few things going on where that's concerned. This is something I know I would want, even though I could probably buy one for less than that if I wanted to. So we're going to throw that in right there. And then let's see what else we have. The black exhaust tips, I think that would be nice to have. And let's see what else we have here. I think that does it for me as far as that goes. Now, the engine brace, yeah, we'll go with the engine brace too. Why not? Let's see how high we can get this price. I actually looked at buying a ZR1 Corvette last year before I bought this house. And out the door, that car was going to cost $174,000 with tax, title, and license. And here is our ultimate summary. Now, there are a couple that I could potentially look at right here, although they are not the correct color. As you can see, they don't have the darker red as I chose earlier in the video. But here is our final price. Look at that, $248,505. What do you think about that? Would you be willing to pay that much for your next vehicle? Some of you could do that very easily, but I'm not interested in that big of a note at this point in time. But I'll tell you what, I do love how aggressive this looks. there's no shortage of cool going on here. And sure, for that sticker price, there are a lot of other amazing options that you could potentially buy. It just depends on what it is you want and what you're willing to spend. But for me, this works. Looks like it's not going to give us the interior shot, but that is okay. But ultimately, there is what we have. Now, like I said, this is more of a fantasy than anything else. I'm not going to spend that much money, at least not at this point. If I was making 3 or 4 times per month what I do right now, I don't know. I might actually pull the trigger on something like this. I'm working more on building a new race car. I race in the class called Top Dragster, NHRA and IHRA, all that kind of stuff. It's expensive. You can't really finance any of the race car itself. You can finance the race car hauler and all that kind of stuff. But it's also something where I can make a lot of money with it. More than I could make with this car. Even if I made YouTube videos with it, that would still be, well, wouldn't be able to make as much potentially. But we'll see how all of that goes as we're moving forward. I did just hit 100,000 subscribers. Big thumbs up to everybody who contributed to that. Thank you for watching my videos. I appreciate all of you. Tell me what you think about the ZR1X and its sticker price. Are you willing to pay that much, or is that just crazy? I want your feedback. I appreciate all of you for taking the time to watch. Thank you as always. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. That helps me, and it's greatly appreciated. Share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it, if you would please. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.